All right, welcome back to another episode of Tribe Talk as we sit down for probably the final week with head football coach Jim McKay to talk about the game last week and the game this week, which is senior night. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good.
All right, so first question is lost again this past week to North Pontotoc. What do you think the biggest problem with the loss was last week?
Well, one problem we had was we had three starters out because they missed practice Monday and Tuesday. We didn't sustain blocks on the offensive line, didn't do a very good job of wrapping up and tackling. That little number 6 they had was a scat back, and he was fast, and we couldn't catch him, and that posed a problem too.
Hey, how do you feel going into the final week of the season? I know it's been a long season. We've had plenty of ups and downs, but it is the last week. What are your thoughts, and I guess your coaching staff's thoughts going into this final week?
Still another winnable game. We're still in the hunt if we win to make the playoffs. So at least the team is not playing for nothing. Got some guys back, but we've also lost some guys. Blake Counts won't be able to play because of a concussion protocol. Just been a rough year from an injury standpoint.
So at this point, with losing Blake and losing some other players, how many injuries that you're at? I know last week we talked about you had 7 players who had season-ending injuries to that point, and you had 7 who had either lost and or quit the team. So is this probably the biggest loss when it comes to personnel that you've seen in the program, and what are your plans to combat that going into next season?
It's one of the biggest losses I've seen of any program that I've ever been involved in 27 years. Last spring we had 64, I believe, come out. We just got to get those numbers back out and get people to stick with it, have some depth on the team, and because when you have depth, that creates a good practice atmosphere, competition during practice, which carries over on Friday nights.
All right, and then final question. It is senior night this week. How many seniors do you have, and how have those seniors helped impact the program since you've been coaching?
We've got 6 seniors this year, which is on the lower end that I'd like to have. But those guys, most of them have been playing at some point on the field since they were freshmen. They do a good job of helping with the younger guys and helping the coaches coach those guys up, so they'll be missed tremendously.
Right. Thank you, Coach. Up next, we got Bradley Strom to talk about the band's regional competition at Tupelo. Now with me, I have band director Bradley Strom talk about the past competition at Tupelo 2 weekends ago and about how the band has advanced to the state level. How are you doing, Coach?
Doing well. We on October the 12th, we went to Tupelo, Mississippi at Tupelo High School and performed in the state regional festival. We received an overall 1 in the band, and which qualified us for state championships.
All right. Tell us your results that you got. Break it down for us a little bit. I know this your 3rd week in a row to be on here, so hopefully people are familiarizing themselves with the way the band works, especially at the competition level. And explain how you plan to work on that going into the state competition.
Yeah, we have state championships on November the 2nd at Germantown High School. We're going to perform around 7:45 at night. At Tupelo, we received 1 in drum major, 1 in guard, a 2 in percussion, which is not the norm for us, but we got some really good comments, and then we got a 2-1-1 for an overall 1, which qualified us for state championships. The things we're doing to prepare is we're going to try to clean up the show, add a few more visuals to make it a little bit more appealing for the judges. At the next competition, we'll have around 8 or 9 judges that will actually be judging us at this next one. It's a little bit different than Tupelo. We have something called field judges now, too. We'll have 2 field judges, and it's exactly what's in the name. They'll be on the ground with us, sometimes in the middle of sets, and they'll actually be kind of running around while we're playing to catch things that the people in the press box don't see. It gives them another angle and also just kind of narrows it down between a championship caliber program and one that needs to work a little bit harder.
All right, Coach. You said you were adding several other visual effects. We got a game tonight against New Albany? Are we going to see some of that in this performance tonight? Depending on the weather, of course, but will we see some of that at night and kind of get an idea of what you will be presenting at State?
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer by the day to getting in what we want to get for State. There'll be a lot of just cleaner moments. Sometimes in the music, some things we didn't like. We were trying to fix some things. We were trying to add a few more sets towards the end of the show. But mainly it's just making sure those things are clean, making sure everybody's doing the right thing at the right time, and making sure just everybody's in time when we're doing those visuals and music sets. We're trying to clean up some articulation and intonation issues, which is just making sure everybody from the top down, from flutes on down, are all playing the same rhythm if we play something in unison. So that's the biggest fixes that we're doing this week, is just make sure that everybody's on the same page and continuing to play as a band and not as an individual.
Thank you, Coach. Up next, we'll have Coach Brian Middleton to talk about the girls' basketball season. Now with me, I have head girls basketball coach Brian Middleton to talk about the girls' upcoming basketball season. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm good. Excited about getting started. It's going to be a fun year for our girls basketball team, I believe. We've got a good group of girls. They've worked really hard, and just excited about getting going Saturday morning our jamboree at New Site.
Well, we'll start in the off season. How have you been preparing this off season and during the summer to get the girls ready for the season that's about to start?
Well, over the summer we played a ton of basketball. I think I went back and looked at my calendar, and we actually played 5 days a week for about 3 straight weeks with different teams. We may be playing ninth grade one day, varsity another, but all in all, we played a lot of basketball, just trying to have fun at the same time, learning some stuff. I think we improved a good bit this summer, got our girls a lot of game experience. And that's one thing I've always tried to do is get them against teams we'll possibly see down the road in the summer and let them grow and see where we are. And we get to get a lot of different looks. We went to 2 camps. We went to Birmingham Southern, Jackson Academy, Itawamba. We went all over the state trying to play good basketball.
All right, Coach, you talked about that's what you did over the summer. How now, since the winter season sports have finally started, we can finally get after school, and I know you coach volleyball too, so there's a transition between volleyball and basketball. How are you preparing your girls now for you said the jamboree this weekend and their first game against New Site next week?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been working. They're a really dedicated group. I got 4 seniors, Campbell Holly, Briley Hill, Katie Powers, and Ashley Booker, and those girls have been really dedicated. They've kind of set an example for us, and so we haven't really stopped much. We've been preparing for those people all fall, and coming in, I sat them down as a team last week, and I said, ladies, I like to get their feedback on some stuff occasionally, and I said, where do y'all think we're at? And they're like, we feel like we're as prepared as we've ever been. So going into the season, we're going to have some learning experiences, but we also feel prepared and we feel confident. I think Wheeler and Olive Branch, defending 5A state champs, is who we've got Saturday in our jamboree. So we get to kind of get tested and get some things we can work on next week. It may be things just like getting the rust out or getting the nerves out. And then, we open up with a really good team in New Site, and we're excited about that. I've had a couple people say, why you open up such a tough team? Well, we want to be one of those caliber teams, and so we're stepping on the road, open up on that Thursday night Halloween. We're excited about getting after them.
I know for sure your girls are excited. They've I have Katie in class, and she's talked about getting the season ready, and they came and borrowed the video camera to film their own little the show that I'm sure will be coming out on their own social media platforms just to get ready. And to me, it's good to see a team that's not only excited to get out there and play, but a team that's having fun. I mean, to get the girls to come up here after practice to shoot something that's technically not necessary but fun, that you get a good group when they're willing to commit to doing something like that. But I guess the final question I have for you is, who are the players to watch? What names do we need to be looking for when the season starts?
And if you're gonna watch us, you better and anybody watching, it's going to be a different girl every night. It's going to be amazing. I mean, of course, I've got seniors like Katie, and Katie is done a fantastic job for us, and she's going to be a kid that you really have to, watch for. Other teams are going to know who she is. We've kind of moved her a little bit. We moved her off the point this year, and anxious to see how that goes. I think it's going to be really good for her. I think it'll increase her scoring, and so with that, she's going to be really talented. And then you look over there next to her, and it's Campbell Holly, another senior who can just shoot the lights out. She was in the gym yesterday and made 37 free throws in a row in a little free throw game we have, and then comes out and hit 4 threes. And, she's just a talented shooter. And then we got Mara Nunley, who we put on the other side, and she can shoot the ball. And, we're a little banged up with some girls right now. Clara is going to miss Saturday, but, we got Clara in the post, who's such a big presence, and then Briley, who can come in and run a transition post type for us. And I mean, we just got so many girls, and I hate to even leave it out because we have Madison Bennett, who'll be a sophomore and played a ton last year. Adney Floyd will be a junior, and she's going to be running the point some for us. And we're just so deep on some things that we can do and the girls that we can put in, and we're still growing. And we and Coach Riddick were just discussing a young lady that we think can contribute, and we're trying to find ways to get her minutes. And I've got a lot of girls that work really hard, and they can do some really good things, and it shows up in practice. And when we step on that floor next Thursday night, I'm planning on it to show up out there.
All right, that's good. Having depth is such an important part of any sport, and it's good to hear that your team is ready. And I think everyone is excited as the fall is ending. Everyone's ready for the winter sports to come out. So please watch for other videos and our announcements as well, so you can see when those games are going to be coming, whether they're home or away, so you can get involved in the basketball action. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.